This conference will now be recorded.
In last meeting, we discussed about fact boxes concept. Today, we are going to discussing about extensions in the sense of event handlers. In this concept, mostly we will see like how to customize existing objects. For example, if you want to customize any table or form or anything, okay, how can we do that? And that kind of concept we are going to learning right now. Let us open the project. Okay, for example, uh, let us take any module. Uh, if you take this particular form, HCM, what is the form name? HCM course type group, right? This form is HCM course type group. Currently, in this form, we have two columns, like two fields, group and description. I just want to create one more extra column in this particular form. This is the existing form. In this form, I just want to do some customizations, like adding some button controls, adding some fields. Okay, how can we do that? So that is the concept here. How can we modify the existing object? First of all, find out your form name by right clicking on the screen. You can find the form name here. The form name is HCM course type group. Okay, HCM course type group. So let us go to the AOT user interface, forms, HCM course type group. Fine. We got this form in AOT. In this form, we have to make some customizations. To customize this form, first of all, you should enable this option. Like there is an option called create extension. But currently, this is in disable mode. We have to enable it. How to enable this particular option in the sense, this particular form belongs to personal management model. In the square bracket, you are seeing the model name. This model, this particular form belongs to personal management model, right? So we have to extend our model with this model. So we have to take a reference of this model. So we have to add a reference for our model to this model. I mean, we have to create extension for this. Now go to the Dynamics 365 model management. There is a update model parameters. What is our current model name? XHR model, right? Our model name is XHR model. So we need to update our model. Update model parameters. So first we have to select our model name. No need to change anything in this screen. Go to next. You should select, see, select referenced packages. So we have to select personal management as a referenced package. See this one, personal management. Next, and you can check, these are the models already we have taken as a referenced packages like application platform, application suite, fleet management, personal management. I mean, in these models, whatever the objects we have, we can customize, make it finish. Now our current model has reference to this particular personal management. Now you just go to this HCM course type group. See, there is an option called create extension. Now just click on this option, create extension. Automatically uh, one folder has been created in your project that is called form extensions. HCM core course type group dot extension. This form we need to customize. So what is our requirement? We have to add a field in this particular form, something like a group description. For example, course or hours or duration kind of thing. One integer column, I just want to add here course duration or number of hours. Okay. Now to customize this particular form, we have to customize the table also because we have to create a field in the table level, right? So let us go back to the AOT data model tables and which table we need to extend. Whatever the table already integrated or used in this particular form, that table we need to extend. That we have to create extension for that. So just open this particular extension form in the designer area and check what is the table name. The table name is also similarly like a form, HCM course type group. So search with the same name, HCM course type group, right? So just make it create extension. That's all. See, table extensions and our table is ready to customize. Now open this table in the designer area. Now you can add the column here. Right click. I just want to add a number of hours. So I'll go with integer. Number of hours and provide the label also number of hours. Fine. The field has been added in the table level and bring that field into the form design. Uh, if you expand this data source, if you expand this data source and see, first of all, okay, number of hours, right? So first of all, we need to build and synchronize fields. See, there is a field called number of hours. No need to do anything. Just if you open the form again, automatically the field will be reflected in your data source field list. Okay. So first build the project and uh, do further your development. Make it a true. Synchronize option. Make it a true and build your project. The field is already available in your data source. Now simply you can drag and drop wherever you want to show in the design level. Mostly we have to show in a grid control, right? So the grid is available directly, you can drag and drop into the grid. So the build process completed successfully, and I'm trying to add this number of hours column into the grid control. See, I'm trying to drag the field into the grid, but it is not happening. See, can you just observe here? I'm trying to drag the column into the grid, because why it is not happening in the sense the grid is already binded with the one group called data group. I mean, in this grid, the fields are came from the overview group. This overview group has been created at a table level. If you go to the field groups, there is a overview field group. In this field group, we have two columns, course type and description. You just add this group into the overview, automatically you can see that field here. Just let me open the form again. Automatically you can see that field. See here, number of hours. Extra column is showing in the design level. What is this field group concept? I'll tell you. Okay, once we finish this class, I'll tell you. Fine. Finally, we have added the column into the design level. We just undo the build option, and we can see in the user interface. That's all. Okay, fine. Let me refresh this form. Fine. You can see there is a number of hours field is available in the form level. So any particular object, any particular form or table, if you want to customize, first of all, we need to check the particular object belongs to which model. We need to take a reference to that model and then try to customize it. And now I just want to write some business logic on this number of hours field. I mean, the number of hours should not be less than 10, should not be greater than 30, for example. So the number of hours should be 10 to 30 in between. That is what my requirement. Okay. So basically, what kind of method we will choose? If we have this kind of requirement, what kind of method we will write? I just want to add some just basic logic, basic business logic. validation kind of thing. Which method we need to prefer? If I'm giving greater than 30, if I'm giving less than 10, we have to throw some validation. Basically, we will use validate right, validate method in the data source field level, right? Okay, let us go ahead with the same thing like validate write method in the data source level. If you go to the methods, validate, if you are searching for the validate write, see, there is no validate, I mean override option, and there is no new method option. Basically, in our forms, if you open our form in the data source level, in methods, override, new method option. And when it comes to the existing forms, you can't find those two options. This is our existing form. This is our form. We have created that. So directly we can create a new method, or we can create a override method, and we can implement our business logic. But when it comes to the predefined forms, you can't find that option. So we have a events. Below there is a events concept is there. We can write the events. If we expand the events in this list, just find out your validate write method. The method is, see, there is a on validating write. If you want to write validation for the field, any field in the form level, you just take it on validating write. But how to write it? How to write the code? So first of all, first decide which method you have to select. Which method is a suitable method for our requirement. So I'm just telling you here, this is the suitable method for our requirement on validating write. So is like equal to validate write method. Right click on the method and first copy the signature. There is a copy event handler method. This means we are copying the signature of the method. Okay, let us click on the copy event handler. Now the signature has been copied. That signature I'm going to paste in class level. So I'm creating a new class. The class name I'm just giving what is in which form we are writing the code, for which form we are writing the code, like HCM course type group. Actually it is a form, so that's what I'm taking, a form. Or you just do one thing, usually every object we are taking like a with X object, right, with X name. So X HCM course type group underscore extension, but underscore extension should be must. So you can give anything before that, your form name, uh, like your object name, whatever it is. I don't mind it, but the suffix should be underscore extension. The class name should be end with underscore extension, and you should write the correct spelling, underscore extension. Let me create the class. That is the rule here. Now I have created a class with the name of underscore extension, and this class actually we are writing for how system will know. Suppose in this class I will write the code, I will write the business logic. How system will know that in this particular class you are writing business logic for HCM course type group form. How system will know that? So that is the reason I'm writing a signature here. That is called extension of form str. What is the form name? HCM course type group. Because of this signature, system will understand that you are implementing something for HCM course type group form. So this code will execute for this form. Now, once you try to save this class, just read this. The extension class must be final. Basically, when we are creating a classes, the default prototype is public, but extension class should be final. Final class, your class name, and already we have copied that syntax. Okay, paste it. See, this is the syntax we have copied there. I mean here, copy event handler method. This is the syntax in the sense like signature of the method. See, HCM course type group underscore on validating right. So you can see clearly in which method we are writing the code and which form we are taking this method. You can see the signature here in the first line. It is a form data source event handler, and in this form, in this method validating right, and here in this method it is a static method. See, it is a static method. In this static method we have two arguments. One is a sender argument, second one is like a e. Sender in the sense mostly what kind of parameters we need to consider when it comes to the uh, event handler methods. In this method we have to bring the data source name and we have to bring the event args in the sense like fields in which data source you are writing the code, in that particular data source for which field you are writing the code. So here I will send into this sender my data source name. What is the data source name? This one. Okay, this one I will send to the sender, and in this particular e argument I will send like which field in the sense number of hours. So in which data source, which field we need to write the code. So both I will send to this two arguments. Okay, now we have some predefined classes are there to implement this kind of codes. We have a class called form run. It is a framework class, form run class. I have created an object for the form run class equal to, already we have an argument called sender dot form run. Basically, when we are writing any business logic in the form level, see, our form extends with which class? Form run class. This is our class name. This is our class name and extending with form run class, right? But here we are not writing inside that particular form, right? So we are writing at external place. How system will get the default methods from the form run. So that is the reason I have created an object for the form run class, and I'm taking the reference of the current form dot form run. So in this sender, we will send the current, HCM course type group form data source. Okay. Now here we have a universal data type called var. It is a universal data type. By using this data type, we can declare any type of object. You can declare a normal data types. It is a universal data type. You can declare with table, you can declare class, you can declare any base enum like extended data type, anything. For example, um, any object you can declare a uh, instance. For example, int I. I is a integer type. Especially here, I'm specifying I is type of integer. So like that, I'm declaring var. Okay, it is an object equal to es form data source. See here, form data source cancel event args. That means invalidate args variable. It is a variable. Invalidate args variable. We have uh, cancelled a reference. Cancelled a reference. Um, we are storing in validate args. I mean, we are writing validation here, especially. We are writing validation on number of hours field. Whenever we are giving a wrong value, so we have to try to don't save the record. So we have to take the cancellation reference from the saving mode. So we should not save the record, right? So that is the reason we have to use this class form data source cancel event args. Okay, now we have a okay, now here take this data source name HCM course type group. I'm declaring an object for the data source HCM course type group LOC. Normally we will create like this, right? For any LOC equal to uh, HCM course type group underscore okay. Now HCM course type group LOC equal to already we have created a FR argument FR dot data source object set. We have to pass an argument, this one, as form data source. Cannot implicitly cannot type HCM course type group. Mm, Just a minute. Cannot implicitly convert from type form data source to type HCM course type. Okay. Okay. Here we have to write form data source. We are creating a data source reference here. See, it is a class name. Form data source is a class name. I'm creating an object for the form data source class with this name, and completely we are taking the HCM course type group data source reference into this. I mean, we are bringing the data source here into this particular code. Why we are doing all these things? In the sense, we are not writing inside the form, we are writing at external place. So we have to take all the form reference, we have to bring the data source, we have to bring the events in that form. Events in the sense like fields, everything we need to bring into this form. So this code will help you to bring the data source reference uh, into this particular method. And now HCM course type group equal to, already we have written underscore ds, sorry, loc HCM course type group loc dot cursor in the sense, so we are pointing the particular record. See, we are taking the data source, we are taking the record, we are taking the particular which field we are modifying. So finally we will get into this particular object. Now I'm writing the business logic. If HCM course type group dot number of hours less than 10, or HCM course type group dot number of hours greater than 30, here I'm declaring the boolean variable ret equal to check failed. Like just I'm giving the error message like this, number of hours error. And here we have written this variable validate args dot cancel boolean value ret. So system will not save your record once we get into this business logic. Validate args dot cancel, so system will cancel your process, whatever you are trying to do, that process will cancel. And this particular class, no need to call anywhere. System automatically recognize your method inside this class, and it will execute automatically. When you are trying to modifying the field in this particular form, automatically this class will execute. And if you are giving some wrong value, this validation will execute. No need to call anywhere this method. You just write in a class your validation and leave it simply. See, I have written it external place, right? The whole business logic I have written it external place. Okay, now let us build the project, and I will try to give some wrong value in the number of hours. Okay, let us go to the, okay, let me refresh the page. So simply I have written the whole business logic in a class, and I left it. I'm not calling this class, or I'm not calling this method anywhere. Okay, just a minute. Let me refresh this page. Guys, okay, let me modify the value. For example, if I'm giving 5 and I'm trying to save the record. See, if I'm giving like 15, yes, it is taking 15 value. Simply, you just need to write the code in a particular class and just leave it. Automatically, system will execute. Whenever you are modifying that field, system will check whether we have any extension classes are available or not for this particular form. If we have anything, automatically it will consider, and your code will execute. Fine. So any particular validation method in any form, we should write these 4 lines. Form run class, we have to use form run class, and cancellation arguments, and take the reference of the data source. Okay, on which data source you are writing. Because why we are writing this third line, in the sense, sometimes we may have a 2 or 3 data sources in the form level. On which data source you are writing, how system will know that? In a form, sometimes we may have more than one data source, right? If you are writing a validation for a particular data source, you have to pass that data source name as a argument here, right? So third line is very important, and remaining code is common, like this business logic. But these 4 lines, you just need to write any validation in any form run and cancellation argument, bringing the data source reference, and creating a object for the current data source, and then write your business logic. That's all. These 4 lines are common for every form. Now, if you want to write the business logic in table level, see here also, we should not, I mean, there is no like validate, I mean, override methods and a new method concept. Here also we need to take the events. For example, I just want to write some here validate field method. For example, in our form level, let me open the form. This is our form. Okay, sorry. Let us go to the table. In table, in methods, we have written this method, validate field method, not validate right, validate field. In validate field method, we have written this business logic. And here we have a argument field ID to check which field, for which field you are modifying. We have written like this. What is the specialty of this method, validate field method? In this method, we can write all the field validations, right, in table level. So suppose if I want to implement my business logic in the same method in existing form, so you have to take on validating field, this one, on validating field method, copy the method signature, and as usual create a class and paste it and try to write the code. But this time some of the classes names are very different. Okay, let me tell you that. First of all, now create a class. Okay, let me close this. Now I'm creating a class. Okay, in the same way I'm giving x cm course type group. Actually it is a table, right? So suppose if I'm giving again underscore extension, it won't create because already we have created that uh, previously. So just let me change the some name. HCM course type group. It is a table, right? So I'm giving table underscore extension. Okay, and as usual, write the signature here. Extension of, we're extending this class for the table, right? So table str, and the table name is HCM COURSE course type group, and extension class always final class. And then already we have copied the signature, just let me paste it here. Okay, first observe the syntax. Data event handler, table str, and your table name, and which method you are writing, validating field, and your method has been created like this, public static void HCM course type group on validating field. And here also we have two arguments, sender argument and events argument. Here sender is table name, common is a table. Actually common is a table. Suppose if you want to declare an object for the any table, you can directly use common keyword. Go to the system documentation, tables. See, common is a table. Okay, and okay, here first of all This is our table, right? HCM course type group is a table. I'm creating an object for the table HCM course LOC. Just I'm giving like this, like sender. So now whatever the argument we are getting into the center, that I'm storing in HCM course LOC object. Here we have a class called validate field event args. Validate field event args here, which are fired when validate method is called on a table. See, when you see the description, which are fired when validate field method is called on the table. Just read the message here. Validate right or validate method is called. I mean, we have to use this method. We have to use this class for fired when validate right or validate delete method is called. Validate right. If you want to write a validate right method, so you have to use this class. So this method validate field method. Okay. We have event. Just I'm creating an object for the class VF event args equal to already E argument we have E as same validate field event args. And now boolean ret equal to VF event args dot. We have a method called param validate result. Result in the sense like either yes or no type. In RET is what here? It is a Boolean value, Boolean variable. In Boolean variable, what we will store? Either true or false, right? So the result will be either true, either false. If it is true, record will save. If it is not true, record will not save. So that reference I'm storing in RET variable. And here, usually when we are writing validate field method, we will write switch case. Switch VF event args dot field ID. We have to pass the field ID on which field you are modifying the value. So we have to pass the field ID here. Usually we are previously also we have done the same thing in the validate field method in table level. So let me write down the case field num group comma number of hours, right? Sorry, field num of case field num number of hours. If already we have created instance for the table, number of hours less than 10, number of hours greater than 30, RET equal to, already we have declared RET variable, RET equal to check failed, okay, number of hours, RET equal to false, and already we have taken as a VF event tags value, VF event tags dot result. In result, I'll pass the RET variable. That's all, and write the break statement. That's all. Okay, here, like 9. Okay, let me create a new record. If I'm giving 9 variable, 9 value, error in number of hours. This validation is triggering from the validate field method in the table level. This one, see. So this is about extension concept like event handlers in form level and in table level. Okay, I have few more codes are there. I'll send it to you. Let me search in my files. Some sample business logics I have. I'll send it to you.